Okay, you're live.
Hello and welcome to the YBNB show. It's Friday, so today is business day, although I know look very business-like, sitting here in my gym clothes still. I don't actually live in the gym. I do 4 sessions in the gym a week, maybe 5, and you don't really need to do more than 3 to sort of get and stay fit, to be honest with you. But I try to do, an upper and a lower and a back and a front split, and maybe an all body as well. And in total, about 1,000 reps in a week. So people that ask, do I spend my whole time in the gym? No, I don't. But this time on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's just normally after my workout. So that's why I look like this. And that's what I do in the gym. But anyway, today we're talking about business. And in particular, we are talking about niche and how to select a niche. Because when people start a business, obviously they're full of enthusiasm about starting this new business, and the thing that they sort of start to go into straight away is their website and what they're going to say on Instagram. They're starting a podcast, they're writing a book, all of these things, and when you ask them what their niche is, they don't actually know. If you don't know what your niche is and who your target market is, you really are gonna struggle. So that's really why we need to select a niche, because much as you think that the product or service that you're going to offer may appeal to everybody in the whole world, people are very, very different, and unless you have a message and a product and service that really, really resonates with them, then it's unlikely they're going to choose you. They'll probably choose your competition, unless you have something extremely innovative, which is probably unlikely, to be honest. It's just going to be something which is slightly different and slightly better than the competition, mainly. So first thing to think about when you are deciding what niche to select is your own passions, things that you really, really enjoy doing, because naturally, if you're passionate about something, you're going to know something more about it, you're going to be more enthusiastic, you're just going to be more informed than the average person, I think. Even if it's something like, a child who loves dinosaurs, they'll know a lot more about dinosaurs than their friends. An adult who loves a particular musician will know more about that musician than their friends. So it's really, really important to follow something, I think, that you're quite passionate about. And the other thing is your skill set. What are your strengths? Because when you start to address this niche, then what you're going to need to do is, be convinced that you can provide a solution that's going to really work for them. So that's really important. That covers the how, the first part of how, which is, look at what your passions are, look at what your strengths are, and if you can, choose a niche in that area. Now, the next one is once you've decided that, it's going to be a particular niche, you then want to really test some of the things that you're going to offer to this niche, because there could be many, many variations of your offer. For example, let's just take business coaching. You could decide that your offer is going to be an online offer, or you could decide that it's going to be a one-to-one, or you could decide that you're actually going to do some of the work for your client. So you'll have a range of different offers, and also you'll have different price points and a whole variety of variations on your offer. So you need to test your offer. So I'm going to go through one way that you will be able to test it, and you'll sort of test and you'll repeat and test and repeat until you really, really refine your niche. So the next thing to consider is your target market, because as I said about your skills and your passions, the other thing is that whatever your offer is, it's going to really have to resonate. And in order to resonate with your target market, you're going to need to know them really well, i.e. you're going to need to know what their traits are. So for example, with YBNB, our main niche tends to be midlife professional women, and that's probably because that's what I am. So from my perspective, I can probably write down a typical day in the life of a professional midlife woman. the things that she thinks about, the things that she worries about, the things that she enjoys, the things that she wants for the future. I can her sort of hopes and dreams and challenges and restrictions and things like that. So because of that, I'm able to come up with solutions, and I'm able, when I talk to somebody, to be able to offer solutions which other people who didn't know them quite so well, know the traits of that market, wouldn't be able to come up with. So really knowing your niche, even if you don't know now, knowing that target market is really, really important. Researching the target market and finding out as much about them as you can. So you could actually write a typical day in the life of, if you had to. And then the next thing is, how many of them are there? Because this point is coming up with a target market of, people where they are so few and far between that you're not going to build any sort of size of business. And if you're coming up with someone and their characteristics, I mean, I use a ridiculous example, but let's say they're all born on a certain day and they've all got purple hair and they've all got 10 children and etc. If the characteristics are so refined like that there's hardly any of them in the population, then you're not going to be able to build a decent sized market. So you want to have criteria which enable you to define a reasonably sized target market. So like I say, mine is midlife professional women, of which there are obviously millions. And for me, primarily English speaking as well, because I haven't had my offer translated as yet, although that's actually coming. But so English speaking professional women is mine. Now that's a large population, but still there are quite a lot of specifics in that characteristics in that definition. So the next thing, once you've decided who your target market is, you've got a passion, you've got a skill set, you really know these individuals and you understand them. The next thing is thinking about your actual offer, and where you want to go in is your minimum viable offer to start off with, because you're just going to test this, and it's pointless putting together a really, really elaborate offer with absolutely everything, all the bells and whistles that you can think of, and taking forever to put it together, and lots of time and expense on your part when you actually haven't even tested it. So what we want to really look at is what we call your minimum viable offer. So what is it that you can put together that's going to resonate with this particular target market? You can offer it out to them, you can test it, you can test their reaction, and you have to speak to a large number of them, really. When I say large, you're going to have to speak to 50 to 100 to get enough feedback to know whether this is a minimum viable offer that's going to work or not. And why do I say that is because, when you put together this offer, you are going to have a hypothesis, a theory that this particular offer is going to resolve their problem. Because think about it, they may be, your target market may be sort of super happy people, and they are going to be people, whether it's B2B, B2C, they are still people at the end of the day that you're selling to. And are these people, what is it they want? They're going to have a challenge, they're going to have a problem, or they're going to have a desire. Your hypothesis needs to explain how that offer is going to fulfill that requirement, whether it is going to alleviate a problem, address a challenge, fulfill a desire, whatever it is. You need to write that down somewhere, explain what that offer is, explain how it's going to fulfill that need, and that's then what you need to test. Because if that message, and also obviously what the message is as well, because if that message and that offer doesn't resonate with the group, then the beauty of testing it on 50 to 100 people is that you get this feedback. You find out why it doesn't resonate. You find out about the bits that they do like and don't like about it. And then you refine the offer, and then you basically, go again. You conclude what the output was. You conclude whether it's successful or not. You probably will get some clients for it, but whether you get as many clients as you might want to is another question. And you only know that through testing. So after you've done that exercise, what you then do is you rewrite up your niche. You think about what you've done during that 50 or 100 calls or interactions with prospective clients. You review the niche. Perhaps now it's not going to be all midlife professional women. Perhaps it's going to be you're going to define it a little bit more. Maybe it's going to be maybe only women who run their own business, or only women who work for corporates, or whatever, your particular niche is. So maybe you're going to refine it. And maybe on your offer, it was online, but maybe you're going to add some sort of one-to-one to it now, or whatever it is. Or maybe you're going to change your price point because people didn't like the price point, or sometimes, people think it's too cheap, sometimes too expensive. So you would refine it, and then you would start to market out again to your niche. So, and that's where we sort of get into marketing and branding, which is not the subject of this particular conversation. But really, I just wanted to conclude that you do have to have a niche, because if you say that your offer is for everybody, what you're going to find when you talk to people is that they'll say to you things like, oh yeah, I really love the sound of your product or your offer, but we've gone to a specialist. We've gone to somebody who really specializes in A, B, and C. So listen to that when you're talking to them, because people do want specialists. And even if you're already just starting out, much better to start out as a specialist in something than it is to be a generalist. And don't forget that your niche is not going to be your niche forever. You could test out this niche, you could make it fly, for even many years, and then you can start with another niche. So in my own experience, my niche has changed over the years. And when we were first doing recruitment, for example, it was mid-level professionals. It was sort of managers of departments and things like that. Before that, it was IT, actually. After the midlife professionals, it was newly unemployed professionals. After that, it was young people trying to get their first job. And, now my niche is very much midlife professional women. So your niche can change. It doesn't have to be the same, but we do have to have one. So I hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions, by all means, just drop me a line or respond in the messaging, do a DM or respond to an email. Better still, click on the link and subscribe, because you get daily tips there as well about everything, and you can respond to the emails that I send you there as well. So lovely to talk to you. Hope you could hear me all right. And I'm off to have a walk back in the rain now. So I hope the sun shines again soon. Have a lovely